And then he started insulting Gerald after Gerald congratulated him. Now, listen, people, if somebody comes over to your channel and they've been off talking shit about you, like I mentioned it in the last video, and they come back to your channel saying, "Hi, my friend, I love you," and you confront them, that's one thing. But who the hell has people on their channel and treats them in such a disrespectful manner after they extend a courtesy? I thought he was grandstanding for the abusers because we saw that Propane started cracking at the seams. There were several things that occurred previously, and we were kind of saying, it looks like the pressure is getting to him again, like it happened when the Goo Guys gave him the prime opportunity after attacking him to come and join them because they were into his favorite subject, speaking about man-on-man sex acts. But I was going, this is some rude ass shit. And Gerald addressed it right there. And Propane's like, well, no, I didn't mean that. But he very clearly was angry, thinking he's better and above everybody when it comes to anything involving music. Gerald just goes and happens to mention what happened on his channel, and Propane flies off the edge and starts dropping all of these abusive, lame, homophobic, landfill quality beats, and I use the term lightly. This is a person who sits up here, like others, in and around the Umar Johnson sector, who are so thin-skinned that say and do whatever they want to others, and if you simply mention what happened, you don't call them a name or anything. You say, you mention what happened, that gives them the right to turn around and start coming at you 6 ways from Sunday. That's what happened. And this started off this dispute between Rev G and Propane. I covered this in another video, so I'm not going to go into detail, but the last straw was Propane allowing his girlfriend to incognito block Mona as if nobody was going to say anything. And I confronted him, and he didn't even have the guts to address it. So here you have this coward presenting his channel to be a certain way when it's actually something else. Again, change your channel every 5 seconds, but that's not the situation he was perpetrating, and couldn't even speak on it. That was it. We were gone. It's the same damn thing with the extortionist. Don't try to put me under some test. The host is leading an attack on those he full well knows, or an individual, breaking the culture of silence specifically. Let's get down to it. Has no conflicts, nothing. He was doing it to appease someone else. I'm going to sit there and participate in a chat? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to confront you about it, or I'm going to leave. And when you couldn't handle being confronted, that's when you brought up an excuse that she left because she was blocked. Do you see me over there groveling to go back and be in an environment where you're disrespecting people that I care about who don't have any conflicts with you? See, that's not something anybody without any solid, positive value system could even relate to. I am just putting it out there. You're not putting me under some test. I'm not going to go over to your demonic ways. The host specifically is leading an attack on someone they have no conflicts with. That is the difference. And Propane allowed that to happen through his girlfriend. He was going on the same route of seeing who he can impress by disrespecting me, Rev G, or anyone associated with us. That's what was happening. He was falling right back into what he did when he decided Lennon was X, Y, and Z and couldn't be dealt with anymore and was scourge of the earth. This is the attitude that Propane assumed. So when he did that blocking of Mona, we were out of there. It's the principle of the matter. This is what we refer to as our principle. Somebody may not give a damn. We know people say that they're blocked from a channel. They'll go make up a new screen name, but it's part of their name, so you know it's them. And they say, well, you blocked my other account, and I want to know why. If that's what they choose to do, that's what they choose to do. But we don't do that. If you want to act like you, whatever, for whatever reason, don't prefer to have us on your channel, or you want us on your channel to be punching bags, we're out of there. We're not going to come back on. Whether it doesn't matter how we get up out of there, whether you block us, whether we leave, we're not coming back with another name and saying what happened. We don't give a shit. We just wanted to know for our edification as far as what happened with Mona, because he was perpetrating how everyone is welcome. But I'm going to give you my opinion about what happened with Mona. Although Propane lied and said Mona talked about his girlfriend, which he knows good and damn well she didn't, the girlfriend was intimidated because Mona was living in Philly at the time. We know that's what was going on. But let me tell you about these insecure, needy females. If a woman, whether it's Mona or anyone else, wanted to get with Propane as far as meeting him, how would she stop that? She wouldn't be able to stop that. But she wanted to take control of the situation, and incognito blocked her. And then she was deleting other messages. So what? Delete the messages. Who gives a crap? Like you're doing what? You're protecting Jay-Z over there? Is that what you're doing? You're Beyonce. Beyonce couldn't stop the women from getting with Jay-Z. So how are you going to stop any woman getting with your man? Because listen, there are plenty of women out there who would love to take care of a bum, because that's what you got, honey. Women will fight over bums, and Propane will walk out of that situation with you as soon as he can find someone else to take care of him, because she's supporting him. And we're moving on to the situation about the money. We knew something was up. I don't think others recognized it, but we certainly did. He was gone for, I believe it was 13 days. When I say 13 days, he didn't leave any messages. He didn't host any live streams. He didn't post on the community wall. He was gone for 13 days, people. Where's Propane? He was nowhere. Nowhere to be found. Then when he comes back, he's dropping all these hints. I caught all the hints. And the girlfriend would jump in and say, don't tell them. He would say things like, I'm not telling these MFers anything. He refers to the people in his chat as MFers. That's what Propane was doing. Now, at this time, though, folks, we had already cut out of there. We got the information. We got the clips of Propane having these outbursts and the girlfriend saying things like, don't tell them. Don't say anything. Then he starts to be more and more bold about it, like gradually, until he broke down and talked about he needed money. Now, somebody is totally and completely gone. They consider YouTube their life, which Propane does, because he doesn't work. We know that, people. If you want to believe that story about that, what, losing a contract with relative, no. You can believe it if you want, but I don't believe it. We're of the opinion that there was some sort of intervention, and I'm going to get to that in a second. So he finally broke down and asked for the money and the nerve because of how he trashed Lennon. And I'm not going to go all into that, but it's obviously hypocrisy. So the question I have, Propane is running around here posting these songs and trashing remix, claiming he has a conviction of domestic violence. These two dusty, dry ass, I don't even want to call them tunes, sound like they've been recorded in the middle of a landfill. You know, all the noise with the seagulls and the rats and the trucks putting trash in a landfill. So here's the question that I think needs to be posed. Do you have a criminal record, Propane Oak Lane? Are you in a position to sit here and claim someone else has a conviction? Specifically, let's do with domestic violence. Are you in a position secure enough to say that you don't have any convictions for any violent acts? Specifically domestic violence. Well, let us remind you what we witnessed in you. We witnessed you putting your hands on your girlfriend. You also dropped tunes about choking women and throwing off bridges. So you appear to have the propensity of violence towards women, but you're dropping tunes about remix and its supposed conviction for domestic violence. You really think you're in a strong position to make those assertions? And can you guarantee us you do not have a criminal conviction for any offense? or any violent offense. Well, he came on here and told us himself that he kept getting pulled over for driving because of whatever was happening with the car. And he said he finally gave up his driver's license. You gave up your driver's license, or did the system take your driver's license based on some intervention or your failure to comply with any sort of regulation? How is Propane in a position to come up here and drop tunes on anybody involving anything related to criminal acts? Propane, you need to get your ass up here and tell us, do you have a criminal record? Because you kind of gave us a clue that something was up. After he came back for the 13 days and he started attacking Rev G, went so far as to compare my friend to Eddie Long, who was known to sexually exploit young males. Yeah, that's what Propane did. So Propane, we like for you to come on here and give us a declaration about your background. Do you have a criminal record? And let me tell you why I feel we have a right to ask that question, because you're running around here talking about people who you claim have a criminal record. What puts you in a position to judge somebody else who you think has been arrested? Have you been arrested before? When you were gone for those 13 days, were you in jail? That's my question, because that's what I strongly suspected. I can come on here and give my suspicions. We'd like for you to confirm or deny whether or not you were locked up, because when you were talking about something happened, it clearly had nothing to do with your girlfriend, because you were saying my business. You weren't saying our business, and the girlfriend was saying your business, as if something had gone down with you. Are you updated on your child support? Do you have any legal interventions as related to child support? Because that's potentially something you can get locked up for. You're up here talking about people like your past and your circumstances are squeaky clean. You're not getting up and going to work, holding down a job and supporting a family. You're not doing that. So who the hell are you to get up here and talk about people who may have been arrested and now they're reformed? Are you reform minded? How can you be reform minded when you're talking about throwing women off bridges and choking them out? I don't give a damn about your sorry ass non-apology. You have a lot of nerve getting up here accusing people and comparing people to those sexually exploit young people. You're doing nothing but catering to demons, and you think you can judge people, but we want to know, from what position are you judging? What position are you judging, talking about anybody who you say has a criminal record? We need the answers to these questions. And let me also say, Propane was making these tunes about Gerald, and Gerald came back and did his thing. He refused to confront Gerald on his panel until someone, according to Propane, this is what he says, told him that Gerald accused him of having a criminal record. And that's when you went over to Gerald's page. But why? Why would you wait until somebody, as you say, claimed Gerald accused you of having a criminal record? Who was that person? Who told you that Gerald said you had a criminal record? So you're full of crap. You're up here dropping everybody's name, but now you're all secret about who supposedly told you. You know what? I don't believe you. I think you suspected that Gerald had information on you and he's ready to drop the dime on you. That's what I think happened. So again, you're up here pointing fingers at people who you say have criminal records. So you owe us an explanation. Tell us about your past. What about your engagement with law enforcement? We know you, at the very least, have traffic stops because you've told us. And if it involved anything with the driver's license, I looked up the law in Pennsylvania. They give you one pass as a first-time offender. After that, you're required to do jail time. So how are you getting around town? How are you supporting yourself? Because we seem to think that this girlfriend of yours is supporting you. So what position are you to judge people about being what you think is beneath you, because you think citing an alleged criminal record puts you above someone? It's not going to put you above someone unless you have no comparable history. That we can say is false, because we saw you put your hands on your girlfriend and you drop tunes about choking women and throwing them off bridges. So we're waiting, Propane. Before you open up your mouth again about somebody else's alleged history, come out and tell us you have a right to say what you're saying based on the fact you don't have any criminal history or you don't have any legal obligations that you're failing to meet that can result in jail time. We are waiting. In the meantime, people, you know the drill. Buyer beware.